Hey, this is Cyox, and this is my control disabler, or as I like to call it, my button breaker device. Now, the goal I had when designing this device was to have some way of disabling all the controls for the gatehouse on my castle for a certain period of time. So, the reason for this is the mechanism for opening and closing the gate takes a while to cycle, and trying to cycle the controls again while it's in progress will cause the whole thing to pretty permanently break. And the other reason is that it requires a lot of pistons and that sort of thing to cycle the mechanism, so I wanted to try to avoid lagging things too badly too often. So basically, whenever any of these buttons are hit, none of them will work again for a certain period of time. Right now, the long delay timer, which I'll put a link for on the screen, is set to about 20-second delay, but I can set it to as much as about 3 minutes 20 seconds, so that anytime the gatehouse is cycled, you can't cycle it again for a period of time. Alright, so now I'll show you how it works. So I have these three buttons. These are hooked up to a T flip-flop that also acts as an RS NOR latch. So you have a toggle line, which is normal for a T flip-flop, and then the set and reset lines that are part of an RS NOR latch. The reasoning for this is I have a combination lock on the gatehouse, which I want to only be able to open the gate. I have a close button on the outside, which I only want to be able to close the gate, and then on the inside I have buttons that I want to be able to both open and close the gate. So the T flip-flop design, this isn't my design, but I really quite like it. So hitting the middle button is the toggle. Basically how that works is that the power, when the blocks are on this side, the power flows into this block first, pushing them over, and this repeater makes sure that the power gets to this piston second, keeping it from pushing them back. That would turn on this line here. When the blocks are at the other side, this wire down here connects this so that the wire doesn't actually lead directly into that block, so that only this piston can push and turn it back off. And then of course both the reset line and the set line directly power the pistons on each side, and that's the RS NOR latch part of the operation. So each of these lines that are labeled the same as the T flip-flop slash RS NOR latch travels down through here, through these blocks, to the different parts of the T flip-flop, and so that's what controls the output line here. But also, when you press any of the buttons, it also sends a signal down through these blocks underneath here, and that goes to two different places. One place it goes is through this block to this piston, which pushes the glass in front of each of these repeaters to stop the signal from the buttons from going to the T flip-flop. That's the most basic part of the circuit disabler. So when the glass is in front of these repeaters, the signal can't get through until a certain amount of time has passed. Now that signal that comes down from that line also comes over here, and this is what turns on the long delay timer. And that signal also splits off, goes through this block down to this piston, so that when the timer is cycling, no power can come from the buttons to this piston, and that's to keep the buttons from being spammed and from not allowing that piston on the other side to push the blocks back into position when the timer's finished cycling. So this piston will be down, not allowing power through until the whole operation is complete. And so let's see how it works. Right now the output line is off. Hit that, turns it on, and the long delay timer is cycling. And when this block cycles back around to the starting position, it will push these blocks in here back into place and allow the T flip-flop to be toggled again. So you can see they're in place now, and the buttons would once again work. So toggle it again, turns off. While it's cycling, none of these buttons are operational. And the last thing I had to do was to make sure that, see, right now it's already off, and I don't want somebody to be able to hit the button to turn it off again when the device is already turned off. So I have these two pistons here that when the output line is off, the piston does not allow power to get through from the reset line, and when it's on, the piston won't allow power through from the set line. So that's the whole device. I hope some people might find it useful. I'll put a download link in the comments, and this is the type of video I usually do, so if you found it helpful, please subscribe. Thank you.